Welcome back, guys. Here we are with steps 16 and 17 on our 21-step guide to selling a house as a realtor or transaction broker. Guys, we are getting close to the end here. 16 and 17, we're almost done. These two steps are getting a lot closer to the end. And what you're going to need to do in step 16 specifically is you're going to need to make sure that all your documents have been signed by both parties. These documents include like the disclosures. The lead-based paint disclosure needs to be signed by both parties. The purchase agreement needs to be signed by both parties. And also, not only the purchase agreement itself, but any amendments or addendums that have been put onto the purchase agreement need to make sure that they're signed by both parties. So what that means, if you don't know, is just that anything that's been changed by the purchase agreement in order to meet your deadlines or that in order to meet any sort of needs of the seller or the buyer that were agreed upon by both parties, you need to make sure that you have them and that were signed. And not anything that was just added on, but anything that was changed by the purchase agreement. So those two things will also need to be in there. The tax documents will need to be in there. Those will need to be signed by both parties. The objections, resolutions, and waivers, all these things, guys, you need to make sure that they're signed by both parties. Now, in most cases, if I'm being honest, you're gonna have somebody at your brokerage helping you and keeping track of all these documents. But you need to, if you don't, especially, you're gonna need to make sure you have all these. And even if you do, you're gonna just want to do your due diligence, make sure that these things are done. Because guys, if not all these things are done, there is a chance that you're not gonna be able to get paid at the end of the day. You're not gonna get your paycheck, and that you're gonna do all this work without getting any money for it. So the step 17 that we're gonna be going over is, oh, also one more thing I need to add real quick before we go into that is that the HOA fees HOA paperwork at this point is going to be a time when you're going to need to get the HOA information and you're going to need to transfer the name and things like that. That is the time when that needs to happen, about 10, 12 days before selling, before you get to the closing table. The next thing is going to happen, guys, and this is about 5 to 3 days before you get to the closing table, is you're going to need to go through your pre-closing walkthrough. So this is just going to be the buyer is coming by and being like, all right, since we did the appraisal, since we did the inspections, you didn't put a sledgehammer through all your windows or through any of your walls. You need to make sure that the house is in the same state it was when you agreed to buy it, and that everything is still on track to buy it. So after these two steps have been done, you're going to be a lot closer to selling the house, and it's not going to be a lot of walkthrough from here, but you're definitely getting to the point where you're getting close to you're getting close to finishing the process and getting paid. So in the next step, guys, we're going to really be talking about reviewing the documents from title, making sure that they're all good. So I look forward to seeing you guys then.